European Championships. British lightweight 4. Picked up a silver medal at the London Olympics. Chris Bartley in the stroke seats, the one survivor from that race. The Danish, always strong in the men's lightweight 4. They won the European Championships, and 3 of this crew won bronze in London in 2012. Expect to see them showing strongly. And New Zealand, lightweight 4 here in lane 6. They won in Sydney. Peter Taylor there in the 3 seat. Got a bronze in the double in London, in the London Olympics. The crews just prepare themselves to try and get straight.
I think there's a delay. Sometimes there's a little bit of weed that floats up from the bottom at the start, and the umpire's boat's just going to collect the weed. We can see the crowd. We're kind of got a sort of a covering behind us, so we haven't got the full force of the wind. But if you're over there on the far bank, you are going to be feeling it. But 7,000 strong crowd. There's
and if I look out here at the waves in front of me, Martin, I don't know about you, they look like they've got considerably bigger in the last 10 minutes.
I'll tell you what, we got lightweight men's 4 single sculls. Oh, I'm not going to enjoy that.
The single sculls aren't going to like these conditions.
That is close to being possibly a bit unrowable down here at the finish, I would say.
I don't think so. No, I think they send us out in this sort of thing. We see the umpire's boat there. I think they called it was a water bottle. Please collect a water bottle from in the water, which I hope that boat there has done.
I'll tell you, Greg, I'm really so looking forward to this race. I mean, I just think the Danes are fantastic, and they're possibly a brilliant crew. But I did see those Kiwis in the Sydney World Cup, and they were sensational. I think they've crafted a great little unit there with Peter Taylor coming from sculling to rowing. They've got that new lad James Hunter in the bow seat. You know, really makes it fly. And attention, going to be a great race. So no prizes for guessing who's going to be leading at 100. 100 metres, I think that's going to be Morten Jorgensen and the Danes. Be very surprised, but everyone will have to know, Chris Bartley there stroking the British boat, that they've got to live with the Danes. But who's in the lead? Denmark.
Well, they're known for their high rate, aren't they? They're known for their good start, and they're not disappointing us today. But this race is always so well contested, isn't it, the men's 4?
Do you think we're looking there as we go down the Danish boat? Kasper Winter in bow, Jacob Larsen, Jacob Barso, Morten Espersen, and their coach Tommy Poulsen told me he thinks this boat is more consistent, perhaps better than the Danish crew that led that Olympic final, that brave Olympic final, all the way down till Britain and South Africa got through them.
Well, they were so brave, but they were slightly inconsistent, like you say. They're going to be seeking that as we have a look here at the British 4. A newer combination, but they're moving very well together, and they're going to be right up with it. Chris Bartley there taking a look to his left.
Coached by Rob Morgan, of course, who coached that silver medal for the Olympics. What a great race. 3 crews head-to-head, and they've all got to take their distance early on because it's going to get tough down here at the finish, isn't it?
It is going to be interesting to see what it's like when they get down here, but we expect the lightweight men's 4 to be close. This one is going to be close. We've got 3 real classy crews on this side.
Average is 70 kilos as we come up to 500 metres.
And it looks like there's virtually nothing in it. We're going to see that New Zealand are in first, but to me that's a very tight race and anything could happen there.
It's going to be fascinating when the water gets rough, isn't it? Which of those crews are going to go over the waves in the last 500 metres? As we look at the Japanese crew.
Technique, won't it? The Japanese here, technique not just quite so strong. The legs are just going down without the blade actually being in the water and connecting. And at this level, you're going to lose just so much efficiency by doing that.
Yeah, I mean, they are living with the pace. I mean, they've sort of got an overlap, but it's these 3 crews, and the Kiwis actually getting a march on the Danes. Now, that is
the Kiwis starting to move out. Good second 500 from them.
That is a crucial little move, and I think their coach, Dave Thompson, has really thought this crew can dominate the world, perhaps for the next 3 years up to the Olympics.
But it's interesting for me to see that in these tailwind conditions, they're hardly rowing a finish.
You know what they're getting? They're getting the grip on the front end, though, aren't they?
They're getting the grip on the front end. Yeah. You see it in the British now. Just to me, it looks like they're just coming through the second half of the stroke a bit better, which I think is more efficient. But in these kind of conditions, maybe you can get away with it.
I think that's going to be, you know, actually they're getting connected early. They've got a higher rate. That should give the British more room for the sprint at the end, but you've got to be there, haven't you?
We've got to be there, and in this boat, people don't give away big leads in the men's lightweight 4, so letting the Danes and New Zealanders get up here to over half a length is too much really for the British to be giving away if they want to win this race, I think. Because we've got the New Zealanders in the lead now, but still very tight at the front. British slipping back into the bronze medal position. And then the other three in another fantastic race for 4th place.
I just wonder if these lightweight 4s are going to be quicker than the heavyweight 4s. 2:53 for 1,000. I think that might be slightly quicker.
That's certainly rapid.
The Danes aren't going to let this go. I picked the Danes to win this race before the regatta, but I was here to watch this contest. This is what I came to see, this third 500 race.
And this is it. And look at these New Zealanders. It looks, like you say, they get loaded up, but they hardly power it through the finish at all. They just cut the blades out cleanly, quietly, don't slow the boat down at all, and then get up for the next stroke, keeping that high rate of stroking going. And it's working for them. As the New Zealanders here and the Danes certainly got away from the British.
So the Danish weapon is that sprint in the last 500, but it's going to be nullified by the waves, isn't it? We're going to get a super race.
Well, it's going to be very hard to sprint in these conditions that we've got down here, because we can tell you, we can see it. The waves are not nice down here in front of the finish line.
Britain going to be pleased with a bronze medal, but they'll want to be close. They'll want to be overlapping the winners or the silver medalists. That's what's key for them. They've got to stay in contact.
I agree. We know the field's so tight in the men's lightweight 4 that you can't afford to be a length behind, because if you're a length behind, you might not even make the final when the field gets stronger.
Outstanding third quarter from the Kiwis. The Kiwis from Avon, Auckland, Wellington, and Taranaki in New Zealand down there.
And they've moved out there nearly to a second. It's about half a length over the Danes, so it's a good move from the New Zealanders, starting to get away from the Danes. Martin, are the Danes going to have that sprint finish in these conditions in front of us?
Well, it's going to be an epic race if the Danes can raise it. They've been battling to get on with the Kiwis, but then the Kiwis, they've got to stay clean. But on Carapiro, you know as well as me how rough that lake can be. They spend their time training on it. They've got to get their hands away and clear. They're used to pressure in this rough water. And
perhaps because of the way they row, that they don't row a massive finish, they can get the blades out and get clean, and that's going to help them in these conditions rather than letting the blades stay in too long.
You know, I'm going to get a rating on them, Greg, because they look almost up above 40, I think. Really.
Yeah, I've got them at 41 there, the New Zealanders. They sprint here in the last 250. They're in those red boys.
Oh, little bit of shipwreck. Shipwreck's coming from all the crews, Greg.
They're really struggling with the water, aren't they, as we have a look in there, but it's not a boat stopper. The New Zealanders still able to move over the top of this water. The Danes are pressing hard. They've come back with their half a length down. It's not half a length now, but I think the course is going to run out unless something goes badly wrong. See Peter Taylor there hurting in the New Zealand boat.
Oh,
can they stay clean? Can they make it? The Danes are coming so strongly. There's still 5 strokes to go. The Danes have got enough. Are they going to make it? This is too close to call.
Oh!
I can't call it. I can't call it. Oh, it's New Zealand on that. Great Britain did get their bronze. I want to see the photo finish before I even believe that.
That was...
They won't know. The New Zealanders are looking for the score, but they want to know who's won. You can see their teeth. They're definitely not smiling.
New Zealand are coming up.
It's come up with the New Zealanders on our monitor here in the commentary position. The crew don't know it yet, still pointing at themselves. The Danes don't know it yet. I think they've got the message now, but they're still not sure, still not ready to celebrate. I think the British will know they made 3rd place. Chris Bartley there in the stroke seat, hurting. Looking out, looking slightly bewildered. New Zealanders, I think, have found out now. They look thankful for the result. Let's see just how tight it was. Well, it's inches, isn't it?
What a fantastic sprint finish. And one thing, unofficially, Greg, that is the fastest boat of the day. Gold medal time percentage, 98.15%. That beats Kiwi pair. Bragging rights to Peter Taylor in the battle with Kiwi pair. And that's going on their 6:08 gold medal time.
Well, Martin, that's just a fantastic race at so many levels. To see the Danes put that pressure on, I was counting them out, I've got to be honest, but you called it. The Danes came flying back in the last 500. And then how about this for New Zealand rowing? That we're looking at these percentages, and their boats are all the boats with the quickest percentages.
I know. Well, Noel Donaldson's going to be loving that. I mean, you know, the Aussie. You've heard him for years shouting on cycling back, going, "Come on, Aussie, come on!" And now he shouts, "Come on, NZ!"
So we just got confirmation there. It's 4/100ths of a second that the New Zealanders got it by, ahead of Denmark and Great Britain. And as you were saying,